Dave Ross with Ross Running. I'm here with Sam Atkin, who's going to be running the 5,000 meters tomorrow night here at the Prefontaine Classic. Sam, thanks for coming out here and doing this interview, first of all. So let's go back to the very beginning here. How, as a child, how did you get into distance running? Did you have other members of your family that were runners, or?
No members of the family. I was just very competitive at everything I did with sports, and teachers threw me into a little race around the school field, and I kicked butt, I guess, and that was it. It just started from there.
So just like a field day at school is kind of how you got discovered?
Yeah, very. I was just so competitive that I ran so fast around the field and that's how it started.
So no other athletes in your family, your parents, did they do sports or anything like that?
No, although my dad would like to say that I got my genetics from him, but I'm not even sure where it came from.
Yeah, well, they have to take some credit. As we well know, as distance runners, they say we either have fast twitch or slow twitch muscle fibers, so it's got to be some genetics in there somewhere.
Be something. I think I got my dad's stubbornness, so my stubbornness to run fast. Probably that's how I got from it, but...
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right. And then, so when did you determine, like at the high school, at the school level, when you did start running competitively, when did you sort of figure out, hey, I'm sort of pretty good at this? What age was that?
I don't even think I really did. Maybe at 17, I kind of gave up soccer and made the choice of taking up running and realized, oh, I can go get a scholarship and go to the US. I mean, maybe I should run fast, and that's kind of how it started. And then
so you dabbled in soccer and some other sports as well?
Yeah, soccer was my big thing, tennis, and still ran and just enjoyed it. And then I ended up coming to the US after.
So how did that pan out? You end up running for an NAIA school in Lewiston, Idaho. How did that come about?
There was a few technical difficulties, and I ended up going to Lewiston, Idaho from another coach that had advised to go there for a semester, and then I ended up loving the area, the coach, his family, and I ended up deciding to stay there.
And he's still your coach to this day, Mike Collins.
And he is still my coach today, going on over 10 years today. So.
Very cool. So talk about what happened after you left college. You take a little bit of break, some time away from the sport. Mm-hmm. What happened during that time frame?
So I actually followed my college girlfriend to Las Vegas, and I ended up for a year not running, and decided that I had a void that I needed to fill, and I had something left in this sport, and came back the next year and started to get to work back with my coach, and basically getting better every year, it seems like.
So it was the Sound Running Meet in December of 2020, I believe it was. Mm-hmm. So you ran, was it 13, 18, 19 yes, for 5K on Friday night, mm-hmm. and then come back and you're supposed to pace the 10K the following day.
Correct.
And end up running 27:26,
yep.
which at the time was number 4 all time on the UK list, mm-hmm. and making the British Olympic team.
Yes.
Were you surprised at all?
I was definitely surprised, because I still, to this day, do not consider the 10K my event, although I'm working on getting better at it. So maybe in the near future it'll eventually be my event, but I'm still working on some other events before that. So.
And did you just stay in the 10K that particular day because you felt good? And
and I was a little upset that the 5K the day before wasn't paced fast enough, because if you look back, I actually did a lot of the work in that 5K because no one was going, and for me, it was about hitting the standard. I didn't care about winning the race, and that seems to be what a lot of the competitors do nowadays, and that's okay for them, but I want to get to championships and do things, although now it feels like I've gone to the championships. Now I don't want to just be that person that participates. I want to do more, so hopefully in the next couple of years.
Because the standard at the time was what, 13, somewhere in that neighborhood? Yeah. So and then so that drew a lot of attention. Mm-hmm. So after that, you're then named to the British Olympic team at 10,000 meters. Yes. Talk about what that felt like.
Oh, yeah. I'd never really considered myself to be an Olympic caliber kind of athlete, and for me to hit it in an event that I didn't even think I would be hitting it in was a little shock. And to become an Olympian definitely makes makes you feel good inside, but there's definitely more that I want to accomplish, and I still need to get the tattoo of the Olympic rings somewhere. Still haven't decided where I'm going to get them, but I'll get them eventually. So.
And how was the experience in Tokyo itself with minimal crowds in the stands? Anything that stands out from your experience in Tokyo?
I mean, it was a good experience. I suffered an Achilles injury, which was killing me throughout the rest of the season, and I just wanted to get there and participate, and it just didn't. Although I loved it, it didn't feel like the Olympic experience I grew up with my dad when we watched it on TV. So for me, I wanted more after I'd finished the season because of injury, and then I decided I wasn't sure should I stay on with the sport, and then in the end I decided I want more. Paris is the next thing. So.
Okay. Yeah, having to drop out of the Olympic 10K final due to your injury, and then how long did it take you to recover from that injury and come back? Were you able to train healthy again?
It was probably a good 4 to maybe 6 weeks, probably 6 weeks of rehab and restless sleeps of just sitting around and not allowed to do much, and it kind of inspired me to do more and come back stronger for the indoor season.
So a new thing in the last year, you've kind of like decided to go to altitude and start training at altitude in Colorado. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I felt like as all these other athletes, they're getting the one up on me. They've got this advantage of going to altitude and they're performing, and I wanted to do the same thing. So I ended up going into Colorado and training, and I think it's the step in the right direction for me, and I just love it up there, and I think I'm only going to get better, as you see, in the next year or two, and that's something I'm going to take advantage of like most runners do nowadays.
And had another breakout race with a 13:02 indoor 5K. Talk a little bit about that and what your experience was in the race.
Yeah, I definitely wanted to push the pace, and I was talking to the Bauman guys in the race and encouraging them, and I wanted to do my share of the work, and obviously everyone knows Grant did phenomenal in that race, and it would have been nice to say that was a 12-something 5K, but hopefully soon to come.
Yeah. And so at that point, 13:02, and so basically you were the fastest unsponsored athlete in history. No unsponsored athlete has ever run that quick before. Mm-hmm. Talk about your struggles a little bit with sponsorship, and what does Great Britain, what do they do to help support you as an athlete right now?
I mean, in terms of sponsorships, obviously a big help, and all the rest of the pros know that without their sponsors they wouldn't be where they're at, and I've been struggling for years, depending on my coach and my parents helping me out in what they could, but I feel like I've been a little, I guess, disadvantaged compared to the rest of the field. So now that I'm hoping to sign soon, that I'll get that same advantage that every other professional runner has that I've been competing against over the last few years, and I'm excited for that.
So coming here to the Prefontaine Classic, knowing that you're in a race where theoretically there's going to be a world record attempt at 5,000 meters, it's 12:35, but you've got some other guys in a different wheelhouse that you can run with.
Yeah.
It's going to be a competitive race regardless. Do you have any special goals going in, or any special tactics in mind for tomorrow?
I guess I should share this, but yeah, I would like to take the attempt at the British record. I think Mo Farah's had it long enough, and it'd be nice to take one down off the record books. And
so for those of you watching at home, that's 12:53:11 is Mo Farah's British record. So definitely some opportunities.
I think unlike most runners nowadays, they won't say anything about a record attempt that they're going for, whereas I'm just going to say it like I'm going to try and go for it, and if it doesn't happen, then back to the drawing board and go at it again at some other time. So why not? I think it's definitely there for me to do, and hopefully it happens. So.
And you've had great success running here at Eugene in the past, and it's a great venue, great track, going to be a great crowd, hopefully decent weather, not too wet. Yeah. Anything else you're looking forward to at this meet?
Yeah, the track I'm looking forward to. I haven't ran at this new track, but a little stat for you: I am 3 of 4 wins out of Hayward Field. The only time I lost was in 2012 when Galen Rupp and Ritzenheim were in the 3K, and they put this college runner in the race, and that was me. And I was the first college runner, but at the Oregon Twilight in 2012. But yeah, I think it was 2012. I think it was. And yeah, that was my first experience at Hayward Field. And then after that, I've taken 3 wins out of 3. So, you know, it's got a special feeling to me. So I guess it'll be exciting.
And just 11 or 12 days ago, you won the British 10K Championships at the night of the 10K PBs. Talk a little bit about that race.
Yeah, I think it was a little different. It was a little out of my comfort zone because of the way that they do the 10Ks, because they have people on the actual track and there's food passed around every lap. I could smell some food, but that's a little bit out of my comfort zone. But
running through the pub.
Running through the pubs. Everyone's drinking beer. It's a phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal event, but a little bit outside my comfort zone. I got the win, and that's kind of what I wanted at the time. I'm just a few seconds short of the standard, but definitely a fun event to do.
Yeah, very close, 27:31, very close to the standard. And on that track, you said that track was fairly rough, right?
It was very rough. It took me a week to recover with my legs, unfortunately. So they're actually resurfacing it this year. So
very nice. And so after this meet, what's next on your race calendar? You need to go chase the 10K standard still?
There is the possibility of chasing the 10K. I have not decided what I'm going to do yet. That might be a Saturday decision. And then that's probably about it, other than a couple of races here and there. I haven't done a 15 in a few years, so maybe I should attack that and see where I can hit.
So has the UK officially already announced that you're on the World Championships team at 5K, or did they make that announcement at what time?
They'll make it after the British champs, all being well. That right now there's only 3 of us that have the standards, so all being well I should be picked, but you know, never say never. So.
And the British Championships are the same weekend as the US trials, like that last weekend
in June? Yeah, I think it's like the 23rd of June or 24th of June, something like that.
So you'll know in a month or so here.
I will know.
Very good. Well, again, we thank you very much for the interview, and we wish you the best of luck tomorrow night.
Thank you very much.